Hello, and thank you so much for joining me for this lesson, which is all about isometric drawing. And we are going to look at how to draw an isometric cube. So this is my very rough and ready isometric cube, and I'm just going to remind you what the term isometric actually means. Isometric is a drawing method or a drawing perspective where you can see two sides and an above view equally and evenly. So I can see my two sides and my above equally and evenly. So I can see the same amount of each. And that means that my drawing is accurate, which is why we use it in design and technology. We use isometric perspective when drawing our own design ideas because it gives a much better accurate representation of our designs. The area of this technique that people find really quite difficult is getting these angles right, getting these angles accurate. There's loads of different ways and methods of how to draw in isometric. I'm just going to show you my favourite one. Now there's going to be plenty of stages during this video where you're going to want to stop and start, so by all means stop and start wherever you see fit. Now to draw an isometric cube, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a stick person. I'm not going to give them legs, and I'm just going to give them some arms going straight across. I'm going to draw the same stick person again, but this time, still not giving them legs. I'm drawing their arms, so they're just creating a T shape with their arms and their body. And then I'm going to draw some arms that come up right alongside their head. Right alongside their head. What I'm then going to do, I'm going to add another set of arms. Yes, you heard right. Another set of arms in between these two. Right in the middle. There we go. So it's almost showing my stick person is doing a jumping jack. They're moving their arms from their outside all the way up to the side of their head. I'll draw that once more for you. So I'm just going to draw my head, body, not worried about legs. I'm going to draw my T, or my arms going out like a T. Draw my arms so they're going up right alongside the head. And now I'm going to draw an arm which is in between these two. There we go. Not bad at all. Now, the reason I've drawn my stick person with 3 different sets of arms is because I want to get this angle as accurately as possible. This angle. Because this creates roughly a 40-degree angle. Roughly 40 degrees. And that's the angle we need to draw our isometric cube in. So what I'd like you to do now, I'd like you to practice drawing your stick person. I'd like you to see if you can start practicing drawing. Draw the outside arms first. So you've almost got a T shape going on. Try to then draw the arms that would be roughly in the middle, just like this one here. So roughly in the middle. There we go, that's not too bad. Roughly in the middle. So this one, you can see on mine, I've got a bit too high there, but that's okay, because I'm going to practice. And you're going to practice that 10 times. And remember, you want to try and get these angles to represent 40 degrees. So basically, you don't want your stick person to have arms that are flat. You don't want your stick person to have arms that are too high. They just need to be in the middle. So go ahead and practice that 10 times. And when you're ready, come back to the video and I'll show you the next step. Moving on to the next step, guys. Well done. So, like I said, getting that angle there is the trickiest part. But once we've mastered that, the rest of it should be fairly easier. We should find it a bit easier. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to draw my stick person again, but this time I'm not going to draw my T now. I've practiced loads, so I'm feeling quite confident. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling quite confident. So I'm not going to draw my straight arms. I'm going to draw my arms going up, so I've got my slightly 40-degree angle. Now I want to give my stick person legs. However, this stick person does yoga, and their legs are going to go up, and they're going to be parallel from these arms. So let's remind ourselves, parallel, what does that mean? Parallel is a mathematical term, and it represents where two lines run in the same direction but they never meet. two lines that run in the same direction, but they never meet. Think of train tracks. So all I want to do is I want to draw that arm again, but as the leg. So it's going to go in the same direction and it's going to be the same length, but I'm going to draw it at the bottom of my body, and I'm going to give that a go now. I'm just going to have a practice. Not bad. That's not too bad. So that's parallel there. So I don't think they'll ever meet if they were to just continue on. I'm happy with that. Let's try the other one. So I'm just doing myself a little bit of a reference before I start. Yeah, I think about there. Not too bad. And I've tried to draw it so they're roughly at the same. They're roughly the same. Doesn't matter if they go a bit too far or a bit too short. Really doesn't matter. We're just practicing. Alright? We're just practicing. So this is the type of drawing I want to have now. This is my stick figure. Almost looks like they've been thrown against a wall. Now they're clinging on for dear life. So let's draw that again. And then, I don't know if you've guessed it, but you're going to do this as well, guys. You're going to draw this 10 times. So let's get those arms up in the air like they just don't care. Not bad. Now we're going to do the legs. We want them to be parallel, so they need to be the exact same, but at the bottom of the body. I went a bit sharp there, but that's okay. It's a practice. That's what we do this for. We practice. Practice makes perfect. That's not too bad. I'm happy with that one. We're going to practice this 10 more times. 10 more times. Now I'm just going to draw them in different sizes as well. You can draw them in different sizes. You might find it easier to draw them a little bit smaller. I'm going to draw them all over the page as well. That's absolutely fine. 10 more times. Now you might be thinking, gosh, that's really quick. I can't go that quick. I've been doing this a while. I've been doing this a lot longer than you. So you take your time. 10 of those, please and thank you. And when you're ready, pop back and I'll show you the next bit. Welcome back. Okie dokie, so hopefully by now you've got 10 little stick people that look like they've been thrown against a wall and now they're clinging on for dear life. What we're going to do now is we're going to start to form the two sides. We're going to start to form the two sides. And to do that, on our stick people that we've drawn previously, all we're going to do is join up these edges with nice straight lines, and that's it. Nice straight lines. So if you go ahead and do that for me, that'd be great. Nice straight lines. If you need to pause and come back, feel free. All I need to do now for my isometric cube, I've got two sides. Two sides. I'm 2/3 of the way there. Side, 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 side. Now I need to draw the above. I need to draw the above view, so the top. So if I show you real quick, if I just draw down here, what often people do by accident, it's just a common mistake, and that's why we're recognizing this now. What people often do is they will draw it as a triangle just going up like so. But that's not isometric because we've forgotten about our angles. We've got to think about our 40 degrees. It's not a true representation. It's not isometric. So what we're going to do to help us, we're actually, where we've got this lovely body, we're just going to continue that line going up, all the way up. Doesn't matter how far. Now we're going to use that as a reference. We're going to use that as a guide. And we're going to draw two lines that go from our outside corners, and they're going to meet here. They're going to meet in the middle. The two lines we're going to draw are also going to be parallel to these lines here. Parallel. Remember what that means? Two lines that are continuous, they never meet. So all it means is we're going to draw this line again, but from this corner to the middle. So it would look roughly like that. Roughly like that. And now all I have to do is match or join this end to this end. So does that go? Et voila! That's an isometric box, or an isometric cube. I've got a head in the middle, that's alright, I can cross that out. Or if I've been working in pen, I could rub that out. But that is my isometric cube. So let's try that again. Let's try it over here on the little one. I'm going to take my body and I'm just going to extend it all the way up. Doesn't matter how far. It's just a guideline for me. I'm now going to go from the outside corners to the middle line, but they're going to be parallel with these lines. So I'm just going to draw this line again, but from the middle to this outside corner, so parallel. So to help me, all I'm doing is I'm just tracing this line. I'm pretending to draw over it, and now I'm going to actually draw it over there. It's that's a tip that I learned at college, and my professor said it was like he called it ghosting, and it's just where you're pretending to draw that line, and then when you actually go to draw it, you're more likely to copy it. And there you go, that's my other isometric cube. Let's try one more down here. So bring this line up, bring that body up, went a bit to one side, but never mind. Parallel, 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 parallel. Not too shabby. There we go. And that's our isometric cube. So let's look at how far we've come. Let's remind ourselves. We started with a stick person. We made them do jumping jacks. We identified the angle in which we want to draw our lines to create an isometric cube. We practiced that angle without the use of this top line. Then we gave it a go without the use of that middle line, and we added really odd legs. We joined those legs together, and then we added a top. And that's how we drew in an isometric perspective. So what I'd like you to do now, continue to practice this and use this method of the stick person if you need to. Because the lovely thing about the stick person is they give you lots of reference points. So they really help you to draw. Oh, look, I went the wrong way there. They really help you to draw using a specific routine. And lots of people find that quite comforting. They find it a lot easier. Or, if you think you could give it a go without the head, give it a go. It's the exact same process. Drawing my body, just not drawing my head. I'm going to draw my arms. I'm going to draw my legs. I'm going to join them up. I'm going to add a little dot, 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 dot. So I've extended that with some dots instead of just a whole line. Parallel, 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 parallel. There we go. Practice makes perfect, guys. Have fun and enjoy.